Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the podcast. We have Mahbod Moghadam. Welcome to the show, my friend. How are you doing?
Let's crack in. Thanks.
So
Thank you so much for having me on, brother. This is really an honor. This is the biggest press HellaDoge has gotten since Business Insider. So
I love it. Thank you for being here. You've done some incredible stuff, from founding Genius to being a very early Bitcoin investor to now what you're doing with HellaDoge. Why don't we start at the very top? I believe on the timeline of you with Genius. Uh, what got that idea to click for you and actually pursue it at the beginning?
Genius,
Yeah.
it was not my idea. It was 100% the CEO's idea. I was just explaining some rap lyrics to him. But it was crazy because it got started right when I didn't have a job. So the guy who built it had a really good, lucrative job. But I just started using the site a lot, just going crazy on there, and I got to be part of it. I mean, it didn't really end up being very lucrative for me, but obviously the Genius is a lot more popular than a lot of other stuff I've done that it ended up being like financially better. you
It's
know,
funny how that works out, huh?
sometimes you got to decide you want to do some shit for the money or the little bit of money that we got for Genius. I actually recently found out the only reason we got it is because the CEO's dad is friends with the owner of the Miami Heat. So he got the Heat to trade LeBron back to our investors team, and that's why he
Whoa.
invested. So it wasn't because of my brilliant annotations. It was because of his rich dad. So
Wait, so the sale was because of a LeBron trade?
yeah, man, that's how LeBron came back to the Cavs so that he made the sacrifice of going back to uh, Cleveland so that Genius could get some money, so that I could get the money that I used to buy my Bitcoin. So thanks, LeBron.
Was that not a free agency signing? Or that was part
Yeah,
of
I
the whole
mean, obviously
transaction?
he went to the Lakers after that, so he didn't stay for very long. Yeah,
Right. Interesting.
even 1 year in Cleveland. I remember when I met Crazy Bone. I was on Crazy Bone's podcast, and I was like, "Yeah, so I went. Our investor was like the owner of Cleveland Cavaliers, and he's like, fuck Cleveland, bro. Like everyone thinks of Bone Thugs as the Cleveland rappers. They have no love for Cleveland. This guy was like, fuck Cleveland, because like if you know the history, like I don't know if you're familiar with Bone Thugs and Harmony, but
Okay.
Easy E is who made them famous.
Hmm.
So they're basically just like adopted Los Angeles rappers.
Gotcha. Well, that's pretty crazy that any LeBron signing would impact the sale of a company between two owners. I didn't even know that sort of dynamic happened.
There's drama, bro. There's drama right now. I'm trying to get a lawsuit going in Delaware Court of Chancery, and then Genius versus Google is going to be. It's looking like it's going to be in the Supreme Court. So like these are for me. This is I went to law school, so like my dream has always been to be a Supreme Court case, to be a Delaware Chancery Court case, and then 23, knock on wood. That would be really cool for both of them to happen. Like if I can do it.
Wow. So, through all of these experiences, what then led you to Bitcoin? And what was the thing for you that made Bitcoin click? Oh, I need some of this thing.
I think it's weird that the internet makes so much money. Just like philosophically, I think society should have a big, big problem with it, and they kind of do. Like Mark Zuckerberg's building all these hospitals and stuff. Like he doesn't even know what's going on. And I mean now Apple's shutting down a lot of the software wealth with their fucked up policies, but it could exist. And then the crazy thing is, HellaDoge is also the solution to what Apple's doing. So like all of these apps make money off the users for free. And the one I was running is Genius. Genius is a straight up hard work app. You have to actually do hard work. It's not just like, here's a picture of my dog. You know what I mean? And then we gave people points. We have points called Rap IQ. So you get Rap IQ. And I wanted at minimum. So first I tried to do Cash Genius. Cash Genius was if someone puts up all the lyrics to the new Rick Ross album, I want to just give them like $100 check, just a one-time check, $100. Like, you know, they did a good service for us. And the community got really mad. They thought that I'm being discriminatory who I give it to. And the CEO shut it down. He's like, yeah, Mark Zuckerberg says if you pay people, it makes it worse. It makes them think of it as work. And I was just like, fuck that, you know? So then when Bitcoin came out and I was still at Genius at the time, I was like, all right, Bitcoin is internet money. So maybe we can give them internet money instead of giving them Rap IQ. CEOs, no. And I was like, all right, so maybe if you get 100,000 Rap IQ, we send you a Rap Genius t-shirt. No. So that was annoying. So then when I left Genius, I started Everpedia, which is another hard work thing. We were trying to replace Wikipedia. Wikipedia is even harder work than Genius. Instead of just having to put up lyrics and explain them, you have to actually write fucking encyclopedia articles for free. It's really so we were basically cryptocurrency to pay people to write Wikipedia articles. But that I got frustrated by that because I didn't like having my own cryptocurrency. I want to pay people Bitcoin. Why isn't there a Wikipedia where people just get paid in Bitcoin? We had the IQ token. So, like, you know, IQ kind of like the same way Genius had the IQ points. So
Right.
it's a good name, but it's not Bitcoin.
Why
So
why is it so important to you that it be Bitcoin and not, another made up currency for these platforms?
because Bitcoin is the only cryptocurrency that actually counts. It's the only cryptocurrency that we've made massive environmental damage to create already.
What does that mean? Massive environmental
It
damage to create?
burns so much electricity.
Ah, yeah.
The same as gold. Gold, like for every ounce of gold you own, people have died. There's pollution in the air and the water. Like we're fucking up the planet to get the gold. So Bitcoin, at least people don't die. And like we can do clean electricity, whatever, but it's still a huge sacrifice. We're burning a lot of carbon. We're making the planet hot.
So
But we
you're
gotta
saying
do
because
it.
that's all already done, it makes more sense than to do it over again.
Just I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. I'm an investor in Bitcoin and Ethereum. But Ethereum I think of as a security. So the only cryptocurrency I think of that I'm invested in is Bitcoin.
You mentioned to me that you'd met Vitalik. What was
Yeah,
what was your gauge on him in person?
he's the goat. He's the goat. I mean, the I met Brian Armstrong in 2012, and that's how I ended up becoming a Coinbase angel investor. And before I met these types of dudes, I thought that cryptocurrency. Well, I thought Bitcoin is just like a drug for drugs or whatever, just like a lot of people. But then I met Brian Armstrong. I'm like, wow, this guy's amazing. I met Balaji. I'm like, wow, very impressed. Vitalik, wow, really impressed. So, been an Ethereum investor back in the day, but Ethereum is not. I'm not anywhere near as bullish about Ethereum as I am about Bitcoin. So you can't even compare the two. Ethereum is also really, really cool. Excited about.
Interesting.
Like I'm
Um,
staking all my Ethereum, but my dream is someday for there to be Bitcoin DeFi.
why isn't there now?
Good question. That's something I think that's a really, really good question. People like developers need to ask themselves. Why can't I at least just get like 1% for staking my Bitcoin or something?
Interesting. So what was it about Bitcoin that made you, and still makes you so bullish enough so, to believe in the entire crypto ecosystem and build platforms on top of it?
Well, I remember when I was talking with Andreessen about this kind of stuff, I remember him saying there can't be anything except for Bitcoin. Just like he said when the internet came out, everyone wanted their own thing. But we're like, no, everything has to be www dot.
Mm-hmm.
He said Bitcoin is going to be the www dot. So then Ethereum came out, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck, guys? And then I asked Brian Armstrong, I'm like, should I get Ethereum? It's like, yeah. So, okay. But
So Brian Armstrong, this was what, 2013, 14?
when I asked him about Ethereum, it was 2015.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Bitcoin,
Well,
Ethereum
that
came
turned
out.
out to be good advice, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Ethereum's been a far more lucrative investment for me than Bitcoin has, but uh, I've sold a teensy tiny bit of Ethereum. I've never sold a single Bitcoin. And I
Really?
hope I'll never sell a Bitcoin. Like, why would I sell my Bitcoin when I think that that's the greatest store of value? Unless I have
Like,
nothing else and I really, really need money, I'm like, what? I'm going to sell my Bitcoin to buy Bitcoin?
I guess that's a good point.
Yeah, I hope I never sell any of my Bitcoin and then I can just give it all to Stanford when, when I'm dead.
Wow.
That is the plan.
That is a Bitcoin lover's position. You love to see it. Um, and I think it's great too, the way that you know you think about Bitcoin and confidence, and everybody who believes in anything should think about it. Is there is not if you believe that that's the best thing you can possibly own, then nothing else is really relevant. You just need other revenue sources to make money and make a living, and then the rest is irrelevant. So talk to me about HellaDoge and how that came to be.
HellaDoge is basically just me trying to go whole hog, replace the way the internet works. It's basically just what I've been talking about. I just want, really, I would want it to be Helatoshi, if you really want to know the truth. Just give people Satoshis. But Satoshi did not catch on. I tried to make people think of Bitcoin as Satoshis, but it did not catch on. But Doge kind of did catch on because people think dogs are cute. And HellaDoge is a public benefit corporation. So, like, if we replace Facebook, we're going to use the money to help dogs. And we're basically just doing what I think Facebook should be doing, which is give 80% of the revenue to the users, the same way that Uber was supposed to do it with their drivers. And then I think the fair way to split that 80% is to give 2/3 creators and still keep 1/3 of it just for anyone who's scrolling. If you're surfing the app and you're looking at the ads, you're getting Dogecoin for your data. You're getting a data dividend.
Hmm.
So this is basically like we did this basically for Andrew Yang. We wanted to just give people the data dividend. And the reason why I actually wanted Bitcoin, but the developer said no. I want to do Dogecoin because A, it's more fun, and B, maybe Elon Musk will.
Well, and the quantities are higher too. You're not giving out people a Bitcoin for making a post, but you can give them.
Well, if it was Satoshis, a Satoshi is like 100 million Bitcoin. So
Right, right.
instead of getting four Doge, like instead of the top person getting like 3 Dogecoin a day, they could be getting like 10,000 Satoshis.
Yeah, I mean, if people thought of it that way, then it would be good.
Mhm.
But like you said, I don't think that's how people think of Bitcoin.
I tried, but yeah, no, it's not.
Um, so how does it work? So the advertisers, like any other social media platform, the advertiser, you can buy ads on the site. You said they're $69 right now. Um,
$69. We run Google ads too for any extra space we have, but Google doesn't give a shit. But if
so
you're a
you
HellaDoge
run these,
sponsor, $69
yes,
a month, and then we show you a lot of love. We also show you love on HellaDoge Instagram, the enemy website, and we fuck with you. If you do a sponsorship for 10 months, then you get a blue check mark. So we're kind of being hosed like Elon Musk, but
I like it. I like it. So what do you get for a $69 sponsorship?
uh, it's basically just the same kind of ads you get in Twitter or whatever.
But it's on the platform permanently for a month in different places.
Yeah, yeah. And
And
then
then, yeah,
the number of redoges that sponsored doges get, you'll never see a sponsored tweet with that many retweets. It's because basically, as soon as people see the ad, they're like, thanks for giving me the money. When you see an ad on Instagram or on Twitter, you're like, oh, thanks for robbing me. That's basically, so I keep on all my ads on social media. I don't use ad block, but I'm basically an ad troll. Like I basically like to just like clown the advertisers and talk shit. It's because low key I'm pissed because they're giving Mark Zuckerberg the fucking money, and I hate Mark Zuckerberg. I've been his enemy since 2012. Like we have beef that runs deeper than Atlantis. So I want to just take his ass down. He wanted to get involved in crypto, and I'm like, holy shit. So I was like, maybe he will buy Coinbase and my dream will come true. Facebook will just start giving me big. But instead, he said he wants to make his own Libra. Like, what the fuck? And then Congress shut him down because he's too incel. So yeah, just fuck that guy, bro. Can't believe and so Apple's handing him his ass. The way Apple made it so that he has to ask the users their permission to get their data, and of course everyone says no. And he can still mine some data, but he can't mine as much. But that's basically the reason why Facebook stock crashed so much.
right.
But,
And those the virtual reality investments.
but if HellaDoge asks you, "Can we get your data?" Everyone's going to say yes. Everyone said no to Facebook. Like it was basically 99.9% people saying no. I would venture to say 99.9% of people will stop. Yeah, fuck it. 100% of people will say yes on HellaDoge because you're there for the fucking money, bro.
Right.
Like,
The incentives
look,
are all misaligned.
not that you want the money, but those are the points. You just want the Doge. So if you're gonna get more Doge for saying clicking yes, you're gonna click yes.
Of course. Yeah, the incentives with traditional social platforms are all messed up. That's why I thought this was so interesting because, as a traditional user, if you're not a creator, you're only benefiting from, the entertainment and the content. Uh, whereas in this case, you would be directly benefiting from everybody. It's like being a owner in the company. It's akin to that.
Yeah, also HellaDoge is never gonna have this giant staff. I think that another part of the crime of every Silicon Valley tech company is having these giant full-time staffs. Because these people don't do shit and they're getting six figures and they use the app less than I do and I don't get anything. I use Facebook more than every single Facebook employee I've ever met. And I've met lots of Facebook employees. I use Facebook more than Mark Zuckerberg. But then again,
Uh,
there's probably like some just like retired veterans, living in like small towns who they use Facebook more than Mark Zuckerberg does. So
it's definitely an interesting concept of how that changes. I think that over hiring is probably why, like, I can't even think of any of these I don't think any social media platform pays a dividend.
yeah, they feel
Um,
guilty. They just no, but they just feel guilty. They're like, all right, so we're robbing humanity of everything. So let's just hire some Ivy League or like rich parents college grads and have them just do fake nothing work and give them six figures. And because they work for us and they have to do the fake work.
I've actually I had uh Mr. Douglas Bonaparte on the podcast. He makes a really good Twitter. He just has great Twitter content about like finance and memes. And we joked about all the TikToks about those people who, you know, they show up to work, they go get some food, then they go to the gym, then they take a nap, then they go sunbathe, and then they go home. That's all they do. And it's
Tech,
honestly, unfortunately, that's, I don't know if that's the truth, but that's how they make it appear on social media.
also with tech, there are no emergencies. Maybe now Elon Musk is trying to make emergency situations, but at least when I worked at a law firm and I had a fake corporate job, they had fake emergencies. So sometimes they could make us really scared. These tech kids are just fucking coasting. Just don't even do shit.
It's
And
crazy.
also work from home. Work from home revealed the full-time tech job for its absurdity. It's like, all right, so this is really just like this internet thing that I'm doing. Why pay six figures? Why not at least pay them like, 2K a month?
Right.
Especially
Zuckerberg's,
some
he's
people were getting multiple jobs. Some people were like getting multiple full-time jobs.
yeah, I've heard of even, you know, obviously different, but I've heard of coders, you know, who will take jobs at Google and Facebook at the same time. And it, for like a project that takes a week, they'll tell each company it takes 4 weeks and get both done and take 2 weeks off.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of graft, a lot of hustling, and it can just be east with. So the capitalist will tell you if you want to give all the money away, then where's the incentive to make things better? They're going to say all these full-time workers, you say that they're worthless, but some of them keep on creating better platforms and whatnot. For example, like the disappearing message or whatever. But is it really better? Like, is the internet actually getting better? For me, it's basically been the same shit since it came out. You send pictures, you send text, you send video, and sometimes you just send audio, although that's the least popular by far. What else is there?
What do
And then you
you
can get
what do you
different
think
kinds of
about
bells and whistles. So for me, it's not
yeah.
about the like, oh, be real. We make you take a picture at the same time. I don't give a fuck, bro. All right, if that becomes popular, we'll copy that shit too. It's not like it's hard to copy someone. Instagram copied Snapchat. It wasn't the hardest thing. So it's really for me about the money. It's that there's this new technocrat class that's just as wicked and awful as the finance class, which I've always loathed. So hopefully cryptocurrency can just get rid of both. Like I don't want to see banks and I don't want to see tech companies.
What do you think, like people like SBF, who I've seen you doge about, you know, do you think people like that are ruining the name of crypto and stunting the progression in such a way that makes it insurmountable?
SBF is a lot of drama for me because like so SBF's dad was my favorite professor in law school. And I was
Really?
very close with his whole family. I talked to SBF's brother. So SBF has two brothers. One of his brothers has Down syndrome, and his other brother is like cool. Like that one I'm still Facebook friends with. And like he went to Brown. He's cool. He's the, so I think SBF's kind of in between. And him, I never met him in person. I talked to him on the phone when he graduated from college, just because I was a genius. But he started to make a big name for himself in crypto, and for me, it was weird. What the fuck's going on? And basically, the way I view FTX is this guy who does not have the best judgment was trying to mimic Binance. And I think Binance is a very, very bad company. I'm praying that they're going to go down. low key, I think part of the reason the FTX went down is because they were trying to take Binance down. Like both of them have these liabilities that they're not admitting to. So I think I think he thought Binance is bad too. So he thought, all right, I'm at least going to mimic Binance because Binance is getting a lot of traction. They're getting a lot of users because they're operating in markets where Coinbase can't go because
Right.
Coinbase is trying to mind their P's and Q's. So SBF, he's an altruist. You know, he's a kid who I don't think he's got a bad bone in his body, and I don't think he would do any luxury shit. The luxury real estate in the Bahamas because it was because of some kind of finance necessity. But again, not a finance necessity to rob, but just because. I mean, you know, I used to talk to Brock Pierce about starting Tether. Tether had to uh, store their money in all kinds of weird places because normal banks wouldn't let them have a bank account.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he wasn't ever going to go to do Lambos and shit like that.
So what the heck
He's
went
basically
wrong?
a kid who does not have 100% good judgment. He saw Binance is doing something very, very bad. They're being like a leveraged crypto bank, leveraged unregistered crypto bank. So he's like, at least I'm trustworthy. You know, my dad is the most honest, you know, intelligent law professor in the world. So I'm going to mimic Binance and at least rein in their business over to where I can have it regulated. I can have it regulated by American politicians. But then he fucked up. He, you know, CZ was able to play him, and look at the end response. Like he declared bankruptcy. Then he's like, oh, I didn't mean to declare bankruptcy. Going on all these podcasts saying all this stupid shit. So he's just not good at the strategy parts, and like that means that he had very very poor judgment. So I think I haven't emailed his dad about any of this drama because I'm horrified. You know, for me, this is like every day. It's like your own family member. So I'm just too scared. But I think his dad would agree with me that I think the magic number we need is 10 years. 10 years in jail. Hopefully, just like Shkreli, he gets out sooner with good behavior and whatnot. And he could come out at age 35, but then don't give him his vegan diet because fuck that shit. I think he needs to eat some meat. That's why he made
I
the
saw you said that.
vegan is toxic. And also, fuck his Adderall. I don't know if don't give him Adderall while he's in jail. No one should. I think Adderall should be illegal.
Why
So
so?
I think all uppers are toxic. I quit when I had my second brain surgery. I stopped drinking tea
You had brain surgery?
twice, yeah,
Holy
2013.
crap.
So these days, I am against all that stuff, but especially Adderall. I never had a prescription, but I used to do a lot of Adderall in college. It's like, it's meth. So in some ways, it's the highest high. This
Gotcha.
motherfucker's taking 90 milligrams a day. I've worked with people who are taking that amount of Adderall. Like, even
Oh
if
boy.
it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, even if for a year or two it can make you do amazing things, or it's kind of like doing roids in sports.
Right. Yeah. Doesn't ever go well in the
Keep it
long run, though.
natural, baby. Just eat the meat, eat a lot of chicken, eat a lot of fish. You'll be good.
Vegetables. Yep.
That's it.
Um, so what's the goal with HellaDoge? What do you want to see a like dream scenario 2, 3, 5 years down the road? What does it
And
look like?
poverty. And poverty. I call it the HellaDoge model. I want the entire internet standard to have to conform to giving 80% revenue. If you're consumer internet with ads, you give 80% of revenue and you divide it up the same way we do. And then that way, I think even if you're a passive user, you could be getting $1,000 a month.
It's sort of like in traditional collectibles where, if I make something like these drawings behind me, I drew. So my cost base is 0, and I could put them in any auction, and the auction will give me 80 to 95%. So in a lot of ways, it mimics that model.
Well, at least with these, you're making some materials and stuff, though.
As is the creator on the internet, though.
Yeah, but on the internet, it's not. It's because also none of this is actually going to last either. It's all just dust in the wind. It's all just data. So that's why it's like it's really really weird that
But
the
you could say that about anything, like the dinosaurs in 200, 300 million years. The whole planet is dust.
yeah, yeah, it's true. Yeah, once you start thinking about what's a Ponzi scheme and whatnot, you start to realize everything is like low
Everything ever, right?
unless it lengthens your life. If it lengthens your life, then that's a measure.
Or makes you healthier, happier. And then, on
Measure. You can't measure.
what's
You can
up?
measure. You can measure a longer life,
That's true.
but I think, part of me, I think there should be universal basic income. So if data dividend can give people universal basic income, then just the mechanics are there, even if it doesn't make 100% sense for like. And also, it's because I'm not really into like I'm so the funny thing is I work in internet, but I'm kind of like a Luddite. I'm not really like a tech person. Like I'm saying, I don't think the internet has improved since it came out. Because on America Online, I mean, if I had fast enough internet, I could send videos, I could send pictures, I could send text, and that's all it is. You send text, you send videos, you send pictures, and they don't last forever. So
Yeah, it's true. Um,
instead of getting those with like new bells and whistles, like taking the same picture at the same time or whatever, I would rather just get 80% of the money that they're making off of me because they're making a ludicrous amount. They're making so much money that they feel guilty and they have to go hire college grads to do nothing and give them six figures.
yeah, do you think like companies like Google are monopolies?
They shouldn't even be companies. Like I'm saying, I think, well, maybe the capitalists would say you're being greedy at what like these multi-hundred billionaires have built. But it's like, okay, they built it. Just like at one point, uh, the Carnegie or whoever built the railroads, they made a ludicrous amount of money. But then you shouldn't want to keep the money you make for a breakthrough from human technology. Once you've got enough money for yourself, I think you should want to see how you can spread the money. So I'm coming up with a mechanism. It's like, all right, you guys made it. You guys made something that was so good that society rewarded you with ludicrous amounts of money that you feel guilty having and you want to give away. So now I'm giving you the way that you can give it away. Instead of giving it to a bunch of bullshit charities, then maybe they're also going to hire just full-time workers out of college to do nothing. Let's stop even having full-time work.
Mhm.
Let's make it so that everyone can get $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, and then maybe a lot of people aren't going to work. It's going to low key be like everyone's got rich parents, and then you can relax. Maybe there are going to be more people being able to relax, everyone being able to relax. Maybe there are going to be more technological breakthroughs like whatever bullshit Be Real is doing or stuff like that. Because
Or
people
just advancements just for humans, because I feel like when the best stuff comes from when people don't have to worry about food and where they live and their families and health and things like that. And then it's like a lot of people say, and this is even true for myself, the best ideas come when you're bored and you're just on a walk and you're by yourself, or places and situations like that that are definitely shouldn't be taken for granted because they are quite rare. um
and people aren't going to hold back because they're not getting billions. I think when people have the good ideas, they're going to share them anyways. Because, for example, I'm Facebook friends with the founder of Gmail, and he didn't get shit.
Really?
Or like, you know, the founder of Atari, the guy who invented video games, made nothing. He also built Chuck E. Cheese. Like, I made Genius, and I didn't make shit. I didn't make shit off of it. But it's all good. I don't want to take Genius back. I gave that to the kids. You know.
That's pretty cool. It's a good way. It's a fun way of looking at it. How do you think AI affects all of this going forwards with programs like Chat
Oh fuck! I
GPT?
do
And
not give a fuck about AI. I give
really?
zero fucks. And thank God Vitalik. This is why I love Vitalik. Vitalik is part of Silicon Valley.
Hmm.
He's the first. He's so honest. He's like, sorry, I don't give a fuck. So it's funny you should say that, because last night for like an hour I was on Chat GPT just trying to fuck with it. And like
Right.
I told it, write a poem about marijuana. I can't write a poem about marijuana. Write a poem about wine. Oh, I love wine. Drinking wine is fine. I drink wine all the time. And I'm like, wait, so but then in my state, marijuana is legal. Why can't you also write a poem about it? And what else? You know, just it's fucking bullshit. And then now everyone who was doing uh, the Silicon Valley that was doing fake crypto investments, like shitcoin investments and stuff, now they're going to be doing a bunch of bullshit AI investments. So
Right. And all of them are going to fail.
what to do? Yeah, no, I'm not impressed. Again, I'm a Luddite. I'm not that impressed with technology. I think the big technological breakthrough was internet. You get to send pictures and photos and videos. And then people made a fuck ton of money from this. So for me, the next technological breakthrough is going to be give the money to everybody who's using it, instead of just like these incels. Like we've got this crew of incels. So there were the Wall Street billionaires. They're evil, terrible people. They shouldn't exist, but at least they're tall. And now we've also got the Silicon Valley billionaires, and these are like the guys like Mark Zuckerberg, like the shouties, you know. So it's more like Napoleon complex vibes. In some ways, it's actually even worse than Wall Street. It's nerd Wall Street. So we got to take both these motherfuckers down. I want Bitcoin to take Wall Street down. I want Bitcoin to take Silicon Valley down. I don't like tall people. I don't like short people. Just medium. You know, I'm just all about equality, egalitarians.
And the internet was definitely the biggest step in that direction.
For real. No, that's what the capitalist says. You should be grateful. Now you're getting all your information for free. You're getting all your songs for free. And it's like, low key, I am. I mean, I'm the biggest user of Facebook. I use Facebook 10 times more than Mark Zuckerberg. So on the one hand, it's like, thanks, I guess. But now it's like, all right, they're also making a lot of money off of me for nothing. So give me the money too. Give me the info. Just like before, I had to pay for the information. Like the next step is to also give me the. And everyone agrees. Everyone, even they're all forced to invest in Web3 in principle. But this is the crazy part. They want their Web3 investments to fail. Sequoia and Andreessen Horowitz gave $300 million to Deso, which is the piece of shit, shitcoin Silicon Valley version of HellaDoge. And Deso has no users. The CEO of Deso is a moron. Um, they want that to happen, because then they're like, see, just like Mark Zuckerberg said, we told you, if we tell people we're going to pay them to use social media, then they think of it as a job. That's bad. And it's like, no, because they don't want your fucking shitcoin. Just invent the only Silicon Valley thing that actually gave people Bitcoin was earn.com. And earn.com, I mean, that earn.com inspired me. That's basically the reason why I got involved in all this stuff. If I could have been the CEO of earn.com, oh man, I could have made some shit happen.
So what's the biggest hurdle now for HellaDoge? Just getting people and content on the platform?
Traction, yeah, really. If we get traction, everything else is solved. But I guess I don't want too much because right now I like that it's slow and steady, keeping it fresh. Um, but also I'm hoping some billionaire is just going to want to step up and take over.
Take
I'll
over
even
the
take a lot
platform.
more. I didn't like his shirtless pics, but I'll still take his money if Elon wants to give me money.
He got in better shape though. He did. He lost some weight.
If he if he posts, he would have to like post like detailed body pics to convince me at this point.
Why? Why? What does that matter?
But yeah, he'd have to like write me food diary. Well, all right, Elon, you can invest, but you have to start writing me food diaries.
Why do you put so much emphasis on that?
I'm just trying to look out for him, man. It's
Oh,
fine.
fair enough.
I saw his fat ass and I'm like, the poor guy.
Well,
But I'll still take
We
his
need
money.
him to live a very long life because of what he's doing.
Yeah, yeah, I love electric cars. I'm so excited. I mean, right now, I'm just hoping that New York is going to copy California and set a date to ban gas vehicles because I just hate vehicles. It's like,
What
I
did
don't know.
California do?
California said there won't be any more sales of gas vehicles, I believe, in 2035.
Oh, wow.
So
That's
13 years,
amazing.
12 years.
That's really amazing.
So yeah, I'm excited.
I mean,
If they
that's like
do
the
that,
ultimate win for EVs.
if they do that and New York doesn't copy it, I'm probably going to be. I might switch to being only in California again.
Oh, you're a New York guy too?
I split my time. Yes, I'm between Los Angeles and New York currently.
Nice.
And
Yeah,
sometimes I'm sad.
yeah, the city's tough in the winter, but hey, I still love it.
Yeah, I'm in New York right now because I'm actually a cold weather guy, and also because it's more lit for New Year's Eve. But
That's true.
I hate the fucking smoke. A lot of times, if there's a vehicle stalling outside of my window, I'm gonna go cuss the motherfucker out.
I think there's a big
Talk to Elon
misconception.
Musk. Hmm?
I
What's
think
up?
there's a big misconception on the crypto front where people assume that people who like crypto are anti-environment. Whereas from my experience with friends and people who own a lot of crypto, that's quite the opposite actually. And oftentimes those are the people, the people who are criticizing usually aren't doing anything, whereas the people who are actually passionate about it, which from my experience are a lot of the people in the space, are actually working on things and investing and donating to try to help the
Yeah,
environment.
but a lot of the environmentalism becomes shitcoin enablers. Perfect example, SBF. SBF like Solana. They're like, this is a shitcoin that we create for free. Like, okay, great. The whole point of Bitcoin is the sacrifice. So you actually have to be an environmentalist to be a Bitcoin maxi because you're saying, I value this thing. I value the pain and suffering that's happening here. Just like, for example, someone who wants quality, they might want a product that takes more natural resources to create, but at least they're not constantly buying and throwing away IKEA particle board garbage. You know what I mean?
Right.
So being a Bitcoin maximalist is about believing in duration. Think about buildings in America versus buildings in Europe. Like I'd way rather have the building that's made out of stone that's going to last forever. Like, yeah, making that kind of thing is going to take a lot more natural resources, but it means that you're actually building something valuable. So for me, Bitcoin is like having a antique oak bed, and Solana is some IKEA bullshit. Loki, it's probably going to fuck up the environment more because they gotta have developers. They gotta have something. I've seen it. Solana's office is in NYC. I was there last week for a party.
Isn't Solana down like 99% year to date?
They're gonna have to get rid of that office pretty soon. They're in the same office as Empire DAO.
Man, what a wild couple years on that front. Well, dude, I'm so excited for you and HellaDoge. I'm on the platform. My username is at Buster. Thankfully, I was able to snag that one up.
Buster Rhymes. We gotta have Buster Rhymes join too.
Yeah, he can be at Busta, but I got my name. Uh yeah, it's cool, man. The experience was funny. You know, I joined a couple days ago, posted a few things, and I went back today ahead of this, and it was like 0.37 Doge in your account. It's like, woohoo! It's pretty exciting.
Yeah, so what frustrates me is on the app, it still says earned. And some places we've changed it to obtained, but I really hate this word earned. Everywhere in Web3, they're like, you earn my shitcoin. How many shitcoin did you earn? That's the whole, that makes it seem like it's work. So I want it to be how many Dogecoin did you obtain? Because you're like a medieval squire who's like in the Shire, and like, you know, these Dogecoin are like, they're like the truffles
Mhm.
that you're picking.
And then how does it work? So say you've earned, you know, like 1,000 or 2,000 Doge on the platform. Do you just then connect your wallet and you can transfer it
You
out?
obtain 420, yeah, you have to have 420 Doge. And then,
420.
yeah, we're not going to give you any Doge until if we're going to do a spam review, unless I personally think you're funny, you're not getting any Doge. You'll get the Doge for surfing, but you're not getting any contributor Doge unless I think you're funny. And then KYC.
KYC, then you can take it to the wallet, then you
We're a company, we're a Delaware C corporation, but we're a public benefit corporation.
and
So
then you could convert that Doge into Bitcoin if you wanted to.
anything you want. You can you can even go buy the Tesla belt buckle that they sell for Doge.
Do they? They really for how much Doge do they charge?
They don't. That's the cool thing. I don't know if they still have it up, but they for a while they weren't changing the price. Like the price of Dogecoin was changing, but well, I mean, whatever. It's a Tesla belt buckle. They don't
That's pretty fun. I know the Dallas Mavericks. I believe you can still buy tickets in Doge and other things. So
Doge for dollars. They don't. They, I don't think Mark Cuban would just put a fixed Doge price for his tickets.
yeah, I'm
That would
sure
be
it's
cool.
I'm sure that changes on a game.
Doge falls to like a penny.
Well, the difference with sports tickets is it's dynamic pricing anyways, because you know the event changes on a day-to-day basis. So it wouldn't even be the same thing. Although I'd be curious if they change it on like an hour-to-hour basis. That would be interesting. Um, cool. Well, where can people find the platform? Where do they go?
HellaDoge, not hello, Hella, like Bay Area. In the Bay Area, that means a great deal.
I
We're
love it,
down.
man.
We just want everyone to get HellaDoge. We want you to have a lot of Doge.
Why the hell not, right? Uh,
And we're on Instagram too. Like we call HellaDoge Communistagram. So Instagram is capital Instagram.
I love it. Well, thanks so much for doing this. It's been a lot of fun. I feel like we talked about a lot of
So I
great
met you,
stuff.
brother. I met you on capital Instagram. So again, shouts out to Zuck. Like Zuck, you're manlit. I hate you, bro, but at the same time, you've done a lot of good. I love you and I hate you. You're kind of like my ex who blocked me, but I wish you well. I hope you hear about HellaDoge. And you know what? If you want to invest in HellaDoge, I'll take your money too. I'm such a hoe. I'll take any billionaire's money if they want to actually help me end poverty. Because that's all I want. I just want to end poverty and help the dogs.
I love it. Saving people and dogs. What's better? All right, everybody. We'll see you next time. Peace.